one of the craziest games in some time at the Shark Tank. Oh, wow. We'll break this all down, and my goodness, we'll talk about sharks, desert dogs, and man, what a night. We'll talk about it right now. This is Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It is December 28th, 2021, and after nearly a 2-week break due to COVID restrictions and holiday breaks and everything, the San Jose Sharks find a way to win this game 8-7 over the Arizona Coyotes. Wow. All right, with that, we welcome you to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every single game, so if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow Sharks fans on the page or the app. Of course, follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Of course, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. SoundCloud, Reddit, of course, Discord after the show, and of course, find everything at tealtownusa.com. And with that, oh my goodness. Good evening, everyone. Eric Kerr here, running it solo tonight. One of those nights where it's just, oh my goodness. 8 goals. I have to see when the last time the Sharks scored 8 goals in a game at home. It's been a while. But man, I'll tell you what. It was sloppy. It was ugly. It was filled with turnovers. If you like turnovers, baked in the oven, the Sharks gave you a lot of that tonight. Let's be honest, so did the Coyotes. But this one is one of those crazy nights for Sharks hockey. So let's grip it and rip it and get right to it. The Sharks, 12 days off. They're currently 1-3 on their homestand coming into tonight. And, getting outscored 15-7. Oh, man. Let's get into it. And like I said, sloppy play, turnovers aplenty. I definitely kept the Yotes in this game. Whoa, there we go. So much for that piece of paper going bye-bye. But it got a little feisty early, and I think, and even on the ESPN Plus broadcast, they were saying, they're going to want to feel their hits. It's not going to be the greatest game, but you know what? It was an entertaining game. Let's be honest here. It was entertaining. It wasn't pretty, but it was entertaining, for sure. So, as we get into it, Gadjevich takes a cross-checking penalty on Gostisbehere. Jan Yannick didn't like that, and then he cross-checks Viel, and then they drop the gloves. Decisive victory for Viel in this one at 2:32. To put it in perspective, that's how long this night is going to be. And then it started to, I think, got the Sharks riled up. 14 seconds later, Alexander Barabanov gets his 4th goal of the season. I think it went off of him of some sort because it was a Couture that took the shot. He gets it in to make it 1-0 San Jose early. About 3 minutes later, Lawson Crouse would get his first of 2 goals on the night, beating Reimer. It was a little bad turnover, sloppy play, but all around by the Sharks as a whole on this one to make it 1-1. You just sort of like, okay, this isn't too bad. Ladd would take a stupid roughing call as he tries to punch Viel, and you know what? Viel was like ready to go, and it's just insane on that one. The Sharks wouldn't do anything on the power play. Shocking. And so, we reigned 1-1. But then the Sharks got a turnover. Gostisbehere got his pocket picked by Cogliano. He fed Nieto with a one-timer. Loose puck. Benito gets an open net and bangs it in to make it 2-1 San Jose. That's Benito's 5th on the season, about midway through the period. However, the Coyotes would come back. Moser, where is it? Giannis Moser with his first NHL goal from a Burns turnover. Krause would feed him with a one-timer. He banks it home, and it's 2-2 after 2. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, my goodness. Man. So, the second period. That's probably the lightest period of them all, I'll be honest. And looking at the chat, there's a lot of people talking about the broadcast. I thought it was fine. Congrats, full congrats to Leah Hextall, the first woman to call play-by-play of a San Jose Sharks game. Congratulations to her, and to have former Shark Dominic Moore on the broadcast. It was interesting. It's a different broadcast. Let's put it that way. It's a different broadcast. I'm not going to say negative thoughts on that. And for ESPN Plus, what do you expect? It's a live stream, guys. Where you're not going to get, Gary Thorne and Bill Clement, or Randy and Hetty, or Randy and Drew. You're not going to get that at all. So, moving onward to the second period, things would get going about quarter way through. Radim Shimmick with a nice bomb from the blue line. He gets his first of the year to make it 3-2 Sharks. On the play, though, Jaden Helgewatz, his first NHL point, along with Vlasic. So, Scrabble, as we like to call him on the show, and I appreciate Kevin Lacey with that name. Yes, Helgewatz would get you 25 points on there for sure. So that made it 3-2 Sharks. Then 7 seconds later, Jeffrey Viel gets his first NHL goal. Like I've always said before, and if you've ever been a long-time viewer of this program, I said throw the puck on net, good things can happen. Sure enough, it goes off a Coyotes player and in. Congratulations, Jeffrey Viel, his first NHL goal. Wasn't expecting it, I bet, either way. It almost looked like it was going to be Gadjevich, which would have been his first NHL goal himself. But either way, Viel, I hope he gets some parm tonight after this one from Gadjevich and Peterson. So I guess we were all wrong. Peterson making his case on that one, literally off the draw for the Shimmick goal to make it 4-2. But Arizona would come right back. Clayton Keller with a wicked wrister. My goodness, there was a lot of power on that to make it 4-3. And then near the end of the period, Timo Meier with probably just batting it out of the air, flipping it over Scott Wedgwood and into the net to make it 5-3. Just an insane goal. Just absolutely insane goal. I mean, we're at 8 goals and we finished up with 15. So get ready, folks. Third period now. Tomas Hertl with a bomb. Hertl bombs. Yes, 20-something Ninja Hertl gives him a half dozen Hertl power. Makes it 6. Makes it 6-4. Missed the Mosier goal late in the period on the penalty to Helgewatz there to make it 5-4 after 2 periods. Hertl makes it 6-4. Gregor, and it was just a nice classic grip and rip from Hertl. He gets his team leading 15th of the goal. But then the Coyotes would come back. 7:35. Lawson Krause again gets his second of the game, 8th on the season, to cut it to a 1-goal game at 6-5. This is kind of like that classic Sharks Red Wings game from 2009, where they just traded shots after shots going back in. A little bit sloppier, but again, entertaining as it is. Gadjevich would take a slashing penalty just almost a minute later. Thankfully, the Sharks' penalty kill stayed up to the task on that one to get that knocked out. But then Logan Couture with his shot from Barabanov and EK65 to make it 7-5. Couture gets his goal back. He originally was credited with the first one that went to Barabanov, but Couture, with his 10th goal, makes it 7-5. And then, just a few seconds later, Capo Bianco takes a penalty. You're thinking, okay, Sharks, this is the time for you to get on the power play, to make something happen. Finish it off. Let's get this over and done with. Yeah, no. Of course not. Of course not. Why would we want to do that, you know? Yeah. So Shane Gostisbehere would get a goal at 16:59. So with 3 minutes to play, roughly, to make it 7-6. Burns would take a tiring penalty. He's been through COVID protocol. He's dealt with a lot of crap. I can sense that it wasn't the these guys are tired. They haven't played a game in over 12 days. They've practiced a little bit, but they took most of that time off because they were dealing with COVID protocols. We won't even mention, I think, Skylar, you mentioned it earlier, 11 players plus a coach from the San Jose Barracuda are in COVID protocol as we speak. It's just insane here. So they took a lot of time off. They had to rest, relax, go off of what equipment they had at home to prep to get ready for this game. So you knew it was going to be one of those crazy ones. But then Burns would take that penalty late in the game. Andrew Ladd would tie it up, left all alone. EK65's looking at it like, Eric, buddy, I appreciate you. You've done great things this season when you've been in the lineup, but this was probably one of your worst games. Not the least of which, fighting with your defensive pair as you're going into the bench and complaining about it, with Jake Middleton. Come on. We can't have that. You can't do that. I'm sorry. You got to be better about that. And funnily enough, and Justin Aaron the Rangy, I was just a minute. Middleton, Ferraro, and effing Brent Burns were the only Sharks players not named Reimer to score a point tonight. That's right. Every Sharks forward, and I'll give credit to AJ for this, every Sharks forward got at least a point tonight. Everybody. And if you want to go deeper, like just another Randy G saying, only Middleton, Ferraro, Burns, and Reimer didn't score at least an assist or a goal tonight for the Sharks. That's how crazy this game is. I mean, we complain about secondary scoring. Not tonight. Here's my stat sheet, guys, that we use for the show when we do After Dark. I've never gotten to the last line on this, so it's crazy how this turned out. And yeah, you're right. You're not. Come on, Carly. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just crazy. So then we get to that. You go into the we go into the shootout or go into overtime. Nothing happens. The Sharks get a power play. Burns was coming in on a breakaway. He gets hooked. A call, maybe a penalty shot. Maybe. Okay, we're not going to do that in overtime. But the Sharks get a chance and just look lackluster. I mean, my gosh. Seriously, people. Come on. Come on, Sharks. You know better than this. This is ridiculous. So with that being said, I'll throw it to our poll question before we get into the shootout here. Our poll question tonight is, where is it? Here. What kind of style do you like for hockey? I mean, is there a certain one that you would like? Wild, high scoring, tight checking, defensive minded, or whatever gets the 2 points. And right now, looking at the poll question right now, whatever gets the 2 points is up 59%. Tight checking, defensive minded, 24, with wild, high scoring, which like tonight would be 17. So with that, we went into the shootout. Couture and Hurdle get goals. It comes down to Reimer and his last shooter. He stops him, and Reimer's looking up to the sky and thinking, thank God this one is over. If you'll see on the ticker up top, Reimer, a bunch of saves, allowed several. Don't look at his save percentage tonight. um, it it was one of those wild nights where you get the job done. Now, that being said, um, you know, was it 12 days off? Yeah, and it showed, which is fine. I mean, were you expecting them to be tight checking 1-0? No, I think you're going to see a little bit of this throughout the league tomorrow. You're absolutely, huge shout out to Phil Kessel. He does it again. He didn't score any goals this time for the Coyotes, but 4 assists for the hot dog desert dog. Oh, excuse me. I mean, now granted, so Reimer had an .848 save percentage, stopped 39 shots on 46 shots. We'll give him that. Absolutely. Now granted, then there's Scott Wedgwood who had 20 saves on 27 shots, a .741 save percentage. Not exactly the best in the world, but oh man, one of those nights, I tell you. I mean, you have to take a breather from all that. So the Sharks get their 16th victory of the year. They're at 33 points on the campaign now. Currently sitting. Let's see here. Can we get to that? Wild card here. Here we go. They go from 6th, I think they were in the wild card, to now the 4th, sitting 3 points out of a playoff spot held currently by Edmonton and Colorado, who have the 2 wild cards at 36. Granted, Colorado has 4 games in hand. Edmonton has 2 games in hand, and that's where you're going to see a lot of mumble jumbo coming down the ring here. So let's get to some of the comments in the locker room. Bugner, happy to get the 2 points, but that was a very frustrating game to coach. It was very sloppy, way too many giveaways. We couldn't keep a lead. Too many guys standing around our net. Eric Carlson. As AJ would say, I'm not trying to be a dick, but dude, that 7-7 goal, you're just watching that whole damn thing. Come on. Give me a freaking break here. Yeah, let's see what else we got. Bugner, we did some things on the PK, but we failed to clear it twice, and it bit us both times. Lack of clearing and execution. Yeah, that's a tough part on that one. PK had a little bit of a rough night. And honestly, you allow 2 power play goals on 3 attempts, and meanwhile you don't do a lot of crap on the 3rd attempt. So you need to clean those things up big time. Big time. You can't. You have to have some sort of defensively. Trust me, I thought this was, again, like I said, this was highly entertaining. I loved this game from the goal scoring and everything. However, you got to be playing defensively sound. No doubt about it. Bugner continues to go on. I knew there'd be some rust, but to give up the lead 3 times is over the top. We're going to be teaching a lot of tape. We're going to be a lot of teaching of tape of tonight's game. That's not good. That's probably icing on the power play tomorrow. I thought we played fast and north. A lot of our goals weren't created by anything fancy. D was helping out the O, keeping it simple. I thought it was important for Reimer to battle through tonight. It wasn't his best, but he didn't get much support tonight either. 2 big shootout saves. It took everyone a bit to find their game. And again, it goes back to saying these guys were off for 12 days. These guys were off for 12 days. It was going to be sloppy. Logan Couture. A lot of goals were scored around the league tonight. It was sloppy. Normally, your first game back is sloppy. We'll clean it up and be better Thursday. Thursday against Philly. Should be an interesting one. But Couture telling it like it is. I mean, let's be honest here. We gave up 7 goals. You're not going to win many games like that. No disrespect to them, but their record is what it is. We have to do a better job of closing it down. Uh, you can't beat that, you know? I mean, no disrespect to the Coyotes record. You can see it over there. 6-22-2. I mean, at the rate they're going, they might challenge. Are they going to get to 20 wins? No, they're not. And like I said on the Sharks Plus pregame, which we did for the first time, which was kind of fun actually. But the Sharks needed to get 2 points out. They got that. We'll give them credit for that. But come on. And actually, I believe because I did this beforehand, this should actually be 6-21-3. So let me adjust that here because I don't want to get called out for any crap like that. So there we go. Fix that up. Got to keep this, accurate. What can you say about tonight's game? We won. Hurdle. We don't even need to look at the video. It was a tough game, and we needed behind us. But yeah, it's it's one of those ones. It was crazy hockey, like pond hockey. I'm happy for 2 points, but we can't play like that. We gave up such easy goals. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't give a rip about games in hand. They just don't have the talent to catch up to Edmonton or Colorado. And honestly, Edmonton and Colorado shouldn't even be in that spot in the first place. They really shouldn't. But hey, Mersey did have a +4. Not bad. Erik Karlsson -3 tonight, which on the perspective. Burnsy played 28:03. Karlsson played nearly 24 minutes. Ferraro played over 26 minutes. It's one of those nights where it's just like, oof. Oofa. So, Benjamin Castle, great to see Redeem finally light the lamp tonight. Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see, Oh, I haven't even looked at the schedule to see if Ian's doing this game tomorrow night or on Thursday night. Oh my God, we're going to play Jones on Thursday, and he's going to get a 45 save shutout, aren't we? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Benjamin Castle, Martin Jones might start for Philly would be the choice by Mike Yeo. Andrew Ladd still playing. He seems a little 36. No, he just has been around a while. But yeah, it was ugly. One of the things I did like about the ESPN broadcast is that they they did a commercial-free third period, so they had time to go to people. And one of the people they went to was Bob Bugner. You just knew in his head that he was seething. He was getting pissed about everything on there. So, man. It's one of those nights where it's just, okay, we're just going to go with it here. Hey, and everyone, welcome to Teal Town After Dark. If you're just joining us, if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow hockey fans on the page or the app. Of course, if you want to share your comments in the super chat, go right ahead. Of course, take our poll question tonight, as in what kind of style of hockey you do like and you see the 3 options there. So be on the lookout for that. So, get to that there. And I appreciate all of you joining us in on tonight. It's going solo here, although I do appreciate AJ getting the calls back out there now because they're doing Zoom calls on the press conference, so we're able to get more access to all the quotes there. Jeffrey Veal on scoring his first NHL goal. Obviously a lucky bounce, but I'll take it. I hope he got the puck for it. Veal continued going on to say, both teams were bad defensively. We're making a lot of turnovers. We didn't make the simple plays we needed to. You would think that you would want, that would be ideal since you are coming off the back and coming off of the lengthy hiatus. You get back to things normally. Both teams were bad defensively. We're making a lot of turnovers. Simply, so we needed to. The biggest part of my game is being physical, being an agitator, hit people. We have a lot to clean up for Thursday. Yeah. Me and Gadge played well together. Keep it simple. Put pucks behind the net. Yeah. Hopefully I can stay here, keep playing well, keep playing my game. Hey, getting a goal definitely helps, and getting that goal off the draw too always helps. So, PJ, good to see you, bud. Thank you for joining me. $5 super chat. I like Daryl Sutter. Strong defense, illegal checks after the whistle, and no offensive style of play. Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah, and so, just another G. Win the next 2 out of 3. Oh, AJ's calling me up. Good evening, sir.
What's up?
How are you, bud?
All right.
First things first, I hope you had a nice holiday.
Sure, why not?
All right. And thanks for jumping on. What did you take from tonight?
What a crappy game. Horrible. Awful.
I thought it was at least somewhat entertaining.
Dude, no. You score 7 goals on the worst team in the league. You don't give up 7 goals to the worst team in the league.
Okay, fair enough.
So that was atrocious. The special teams, 0 for 3 on the power play, and you give up come on.
No, well, what was worse, the PK or the power play? Because I thought the Sharks' power play was just wretched, absolutely wretched, especially in overtime.
Sucked all the way around. No, the fact that it even went to overtime. I mean, Burns with that boneheaded play with 2.5 left with that cross check. It's like, what the hell are you thinking? The Andrew Ladd goal, Erik Karlsson with the best seat in the house, just standing there,
just watching it. That so pissed me off. So pissed me when I saw the gif of that when you put together. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Now, mind you, I don't freaking swear on After Dark. But my God, what the fuck were you doing? You're just watching it.
Burns and EK tonight were both fucking atrocious.
And yet Burns was a +4.
Yeah, I mean, he had some horrific turnovers tonight, didn't make some great plays. And then EK last time I looked was a -3. So atrocious defensively, sloppy everywhere. It almost makes me wonder what this game would have looked like had Hill got the start. Like the Sharks may have very well lost this.
Yeah, and it would have been more upset, anger, and such if Reimer lets in an 8th goal in overtime. Because my God, that would have been. That's a game that, like I said on pregame, that's a game you needed to have. The 2 points. Yeah, you got 2 tonight. You gave up 1 to a team that's like, what, now 19 points out of, or let's see, 15 points on the night. So 18 points behind you in the fight for right.
No, this was just horrific. And this is, look, this is one game, and they're off for 12 days, blah, 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 blah. I mean, every other team, I always hate when they use that mistake. Well, the ice was shitty. Both teams played on the same fucking ice.
Right.
It's like, well, there was a lot of time off. A lot of teams had a lot of time off. Like, I don't want to, for me, if you're off 12 days, you should have so much goddamn energy.
And I thought they showed it early.
Yeah, it was okay. But it's just so much sloppiness. Like their legs might have been there. I don't know where the hell their brains were some of the time tonight, but it's you just can't. I mean, the horrible game against the worst team in the league. Like I would have been impressed if they had done this against Colorado.
Or
Like that would have I would
Vegas
have been like, yeah,
or
maybe
Edmonton.
Vegas or something. Yeah, you light somebody up. Even a Tampa, you light up a Vasilevsky or something like that. Like maybe, like you could almost take some kind of victory from that. But tonight almost felt like a loss, to be honest, that it took this much to beat a bottom feeder. That's tough. And for all the praise that I've given Erik Karlsson over the past month or so,
Right.
Chief, the last couple of games is really starting to remind me of,
Last
previous
year.
2 years Carlson. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's not good. It's like he was rolling there. He came back from COVID and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit,
King
this is the
Masters.
guy we've all been waiting for.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, man, last couple of games, it's like, oh fuck, here we go. It's 2020 Carlson.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I mean, dude's got another half a schedule to go, but and don't think. I mean, look, Philly's got to play Seattle tomorrow, and then here on in San Jose on Thursday. I'm going to just assume that Carter Hart is going to play in Seattle, and that Jones will get the start here. Although, if the coach is smart for Philly, he starts Jones against Seattle because Jones did not play that well in San Jose. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But look, I mean, this is one that we all had penciled down as like, if you don't win this fucking game, good God.
Yeah.
But
They found a way to win it in a skills competition for sure. Oh man. Oh boy, I appreciate you, bud, and thank you for jumping on the Zoom call for the pressers. But yeah, that's one that they gotta have. They got it done, but it's like I don't feel great, you know.
dude, you should have saw Couture whew, when they put out the audio, or I'm sorry, not the audio, when they post the video either later tonight or probably tomorrow if they do it all. Boy, Couture early on, man, just was not mincing words. Just was very much like, hey, you scored 7, but you gave up 7. What can you say about tonight's game? We won. I mean, it was a very Daryl Sutter answer,
Oh God.
spoken in a very Sutter-esque way. I'll tell you, man, I don't know, like the other thing that's been kind of fun well, not so much fun, but kind of odd. Burns, you can tell he fucking hates these Zoom calls with a passion. He's always pushing the mic away. He does, he's always like, is that it? Okay, cool. See ya. Yeah, I mean, he is just like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. And in the meeting, the morning calls,
Yeah.
it's typically, you're allowed to kind of put in a request. Like if possible, we'd like to talk to this guy, and this guy.
Sure.
And I'm telling you, it wouldn't surprise me at this point if they just stop asking for Burns full stop, because they're like, he's not going to say anything. So forget it. But Couture was also kind of seemed very monosyllabic in his answers. It seems like the one guys that you can get to talk a little bit, you can get Hurdle to talk. Vlasic depends on his mood. Although he's so pissed off between the Olympics and everything. I don't know if you saw him retweeting Marchand's
yeah.
tweet. So
Well, here we'll get into that. So the Marchand goes off on Twitter about Olympic participation, how there should be taxi squads for the Olympics for the guys who want to go. We knew this from 4 years ago, though. AJ, is that Vlasic was very adamant about going, and probably 2018 would have been his last chance to go. I mean, he went in 2014, got his gold and everything, but he's been very adamant about Olympic participation, and he's been fairly quiet on Twitter lately, but until he retweeted on top of Brad Marchand's and said, well said.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look, we all knew it was going that way. Jerk and I had been talking that on Pucknologist for what felt like months.
Right.
We all knew it was going that way. I don't know why it took them so long to figure it out. I mean, look, if there's guys that want to go, fine, let him go. I mean, I don't know. I just don't give a shit about the Olympics. If these guys, I understand they want to represent their country, fine. Then have another World Cup.
But the guys have gone on record in the past saying World Cup is meh. It's the Olympics are best on best,
Well,
especially with the European teams. You know,
whatever.
yeah.
I
So,
just don't give a shit. I think the Olympics are a little blown out of proportion, but whatever.
hey, we might get Eklund to play in the Olympics for Team Sweden, so that might be something to look forward to.
Yeah. Oh, for those asking about Leah Hextall, it's Ron's cousin.
Thank
Just to
you.
let you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. And her grandfather Brian was named to the Hockey Hall of Fame in '69. So there you go. The more you know.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys that like the Olympic thing. I'm just like, yeah, I just don't care. For me, it's like, man, I don't really like taking the 3 weeks off. And
Well,
if this wasn't the whole COVID thing, then I probably wouldn't have as big a problem with it. But since we have all of that, and you could have guys literally miss. I mean, could you imagine showing up? Like literally the day you fly in, you get tested as you get off the plane. Oh, you got the Rona. You're out. You're going to miss. So you flew there for nothing.
And they
right?
get stuck over there.
Yeah. And you get stuck there. Or this isn't as worse as that. But what if it's a case of you go through, you play to the end, you win the gold, you win you win a medal, you play for a big fucking game. And then the day before you're supposed to leave, you test. Oh, you got the Rona. You're here for 2 weeks with your thumb up your ass. It just makes me wish they could have figured out a way to say, look, we want best on best. We want Olympic hockey. But you know what? Because of these unprecedented times, as everybody says,
right.
Then figure out a way to just hold it in North America. Have the rest of the shit in Beijing. But the vast majority of the people that are going to take part in this are in North America. Just fucking figure out a way to hold it in North America. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets their best on best. But you don't have to do, just would have made more sense. But whatever.
No, I get you. I mean, it makes more sense there. But of course, the rinks out here, I mean, they've always adapted to 200 by 85 instead of the Olympic 200 by 100. And along with getting the teams that are more heavy centric in Europe and Asia, like Team China per se, to get them over here would be maybe a challenge and such. But I get you. I mean, it makes sense to do it over here, and that's why the allure of a World Cup of hockey makes sense. The question is that how are they going to get this in? Are they going to do it in 2024? And for that matter, they need to be more consistent about it. 96, then 04, then 2016. I mean, come on, let's get it together, people. I mean,
well, they were
that's
talking
asking a lot
about
from
it
the
today
NHL.
about Tomas Hertl. If he's not going, will he get an opportunity 4 years from now? Maybe he'll be aged out by then.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Or look at Stamkos. I know a lot of mention Stamkos on that one, not to get another chance to play for gold again. I mean, you look at McDavid. Now he's missed his second Olympics. Matthews. Well, but I mean, McDavid, Matthews. They've never gone head to head. USA versus Canada. They've only the only international competition they had. They were together as Team North America. So.
Oh well, then fuck that.
But internationally, Canada won 11-2 over Austria.
No.
16-year-old Connor Bedard. Maybe we can, suck for Connor Bedard to be the Sharks lottery pick down the road. Youngest player to score a natural hat trick. He scores 4 goals in a game, tying, the single game record for World Juniors. I mean, that's insane.
Another player the Sharks won't ever have. It's
Yeah,
fine.
no, he'll probably get drafted by LA, of course.
Hmm.
Eklund's looked pretty good so far. I don't know. Have you even looked at?
I've only been able to catch some highlights. I've been busy with other stuff, but yeah, I mean, he's looked good. Lord knows, I mean, it can't be fun playing in the shit storm that is Deer Garden, but you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the kid makes the roster for the Sharks next season.
He better.
Yeah, especially if the Kane situation is finally dealt with. I was listening to Sirius XM. So there was a bit earlier today, and they asked a couple quote unquote in the know folks, what their take was on Kane, and basically it was, do you believe that he'll play in the NHL this season? And he said, no, there's no reason for him to play in the NHL, only from the aspect of who wants the baggage, who wants to disrupt their room right now. Nobody. So,
and for that matter, he's making more money down with the CUDA anyways.
whatever.
But he's under COVID protocol right now, and the CUDA had their game postponed last night.
I don't know. Look, if he's never going to be a Shark again, which I'm fine with, then I can't wait to move on. Get him off the books, whether it's a buyout, whether we find somebody silly enough that will take him in a trade. I don't care. It's that if the Sharks aren't going to figure out a way to move forward with them, having that money just sitting on the books is just a kick in the smalls.
Yeah.
Tonight's attendance tonight, I was wrong. The ESPN listed it at 11,450.
Wow.
I don't think it would, that's paid. That's not tickets used.
True.
Because I took some screen caps and a lot of empty seats down in the lower bowl.
Oh, that BMW lounge is looking nice and clean.
Well, I was wrong. I had it on the books. I thought that tonight would have been the lowest attended game simply because it's Arizona. It's during the holidays. Mm-hmm. But then again, this is a game that Hockey Jerk went to. So maybe
nice.
It might have gotten a bump from people in town for the holidays. Who knows? But not the lowest attended game. That still belongs to the Buffalo game on November 2nd. But we still got plenty of games left. I will say, because I listened to maybe all of 2 minutes of Dominic Moore and Leah Hextall. I take advantage of these games to check out Ruzi because usually I'm listening to Han and whoever is with him. Ruzi and Smith, I got to say, I really enjoyed Smith. Really enjoyed Smitty. I mean, he's no Drew Remenda, but I would have him second on my list. I'd have him over Hannon.
But Smitty's always been your guy, so that makes sense.
As a player.
Right. No, but I mean, he
doesn't fill the air for the sake of filling the air, which Hannon can sometimes get into from time to time. But I will say the all-time funniest thing to hear is them promoting, you're tuned into the Sharks Audio Network right here, and don't forget to join us every Thursday night. Vancouver, who the fuck? Philadelphia.
Philly.
Don't forget to join us on Thursday. And check us out on one of our great radio affiliates. And I felt like going, as long as you're not in the Bay Area, right?
It's funny, and I know you've been to a couple of games this season. Isn't it funny that they still reintroduce all the radio affiliates in the building? And I'm like,
I think it's fucking hysterical. And the thing that it's like, obviously somebody is putting the copy in front of Ruzanowski to read. He's required to make these reads, which I get. That's his job. Absolutely. But I feel like someone needs to dial it back for a second. Just take a step back and think about this, where you're saying, don't forget if you come to the game, to check us out, bring your headphones and, tune us in on Sharks Audio Network. And it's like, you understand if somebody does that, like their phone's going to be dead by the fucking second period, right? Not to mention, do you have the the bandwidth that you're paying for. Are you going to blow out your cell phone package
Data,
in one
yes.
game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your data rate is going to be. So it would be nice if there was some way, and not to say that there isn't or that they aren't currently doing it, but they just haven't promoted it whatsoever. There's probably a way that they could broadcast that radio signal inside the building, that if you brought an AM FM radio that you could.
You can.
Okay,
you can tune to 102.1 in the building.
Okay, well, see, they need to promote that because I wasn't aware of that, and I'm aware of a lot of stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. So there's that. There were only two other games tonight. Golden Knights beat up on the Kings in their shiny chrome helmet 6-3. Lightning win in overtime 5-4. Andre Palat with the game winner in that one. Corey Perry tied it up with 20 seconds left to send it to overtime against his former team. That he
didn't somebody was it Kopitar? Somebody broke like a Gretzky record or went beyond Gretzky on like assists for the Kings.
I want to say yes. I didn't catch that though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I saw that tonight. So I was like, well, that's pretty significant. You break any type of a record that belongs to Wayne Gretzky, you kind of go, hey, look at
that. And finally, back into the World Juniors, USA forfeited their game against Switzerland because players.
Anyway,
as you can tell, AJ doesn't enjoy the World Juniors.
I don't give a shit. I mean, talk about that on another show. Like, do a whole get Lacey, get Jerk, get all the guys that are into that stuff. Fine, that's I'm completely ignorant of that, so I don't feel like talking about it. And 21 pucks, you know what you can go do, my friend.
In case you missed it or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, always available at tealtownusa.com. So with that, we'll get out of here. The next game could be likely against Martin Jones and the Philadelphia Flyers. Oh boy, that'll be a good one. And it's Stealth Night, which will make it even better.
No, fuck. Are they gonna win on the stealth jerseys finally this season?
Oh,
I don't know.
Boy.
Did you mention the shit about Middleton and Carlson tonight?
I did. I said that during while you were feeding quotes, but isn't that interesting? We saw that with Dylan during the playoffs 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, but did you rewind it?
Yeah.
And like actually listen?
No, I didn't hear it. I just saw the GIF of it.
No, see, that's the whole thing. No, you got to go rewind it, listen at the end of the first period when that shit goes down. You can kind of hear Carlson ragging on Middleton a little bit, and then you see, as they're going into the dressing room, Middleton gets Carlson to flinch a little bit. Like it looked like Middleton was just kind of like, enough, like shut the fuck up. I can't say, but boy, man, I would have given, maybe a week's pay to be right next to that stairwell when those guys were going off tonight. Whew.
Oh man, just think if they actually did drop the gloves. I got $200 on Middleton.
Oh, I don't see not that they're going to drop the gloves, but it would have been interesting just to hear like Middleton go, dude, shut the fuck up, or whatever it was. I don't know. You go back and look. I'm just saying that was kind of interesting right there. That makes you wonder, if fissures are still open, or if maybe that was just an isolated incident and somebody had to get it out of their system. Maybe they had their like C's candy high going a little too much. Who knows?
Or just frustrated after the first game back, and it just awful, and for that matter, Middleton should throw it right back at him after the game because of that 7th goal.
You would hope.
Oh God.
So
anyhow,
7 more until we hit the halfway point. I'm still right on target on my picks, and it's not good. And we're going to talk about it this Sunday with the Pucknologist. But I don't know if you read one of Shang's latest pieces. I mean, one of it had to do with Bob being on the hot seat, which Jerk and I are going to get into. which I thought was a little odd. But he also had a piece this week, I think, for NBCS that he was talking about how the Sharks will make the playoffs this year. And I'm like, what? What? So that's
On the
something that
hot seat,
I think,
but we'll make the playoffs.
yeah, well, it's right. Like that, like those statements kind of like contradict each other. Like if you made the playoffs with this crew, why would you be on the hot seat? Number one.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how are you going to make the playoffs? You barely beat the worst fucking team in your own barn.
And it's not just close to being bad, they're bad. So
Yeah, no, they're fucking horrible. Imagine, I mean, what Kessel had 3 assists tonight.
Kessel,
noted,
yeah,
noted Sharks killer.
4 assists. Excuse me.
Oh
4
Jesus, fucking 4.
and
Of course.
And Krause had 2 goals and assists for.
Yeah, but didn't Kessel have like during the shortened season? Didn't he have like I don't know,
He had
18?
10. He had 10 goals.
Yeah,
Against
in
the
like
Sharks.
8 games. It was
Yeah.
retarded. Yeah,
So
fucking stupid, a stupid amount of silly.
So with that, we'll get out of here. For AJ, I'm Eric. We'll be back with you Thursday night following Flyers and Sharks on the YouTube channel. So do yourself a favor if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit us.
Tell
up,
a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell 10 friends. We'd appreciate it immensely. So,
Or just open 10 burner accounts and subscribe with each one.
oh, come on. All right, we're out of here.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Oh, shush. Yes, all those influencers. And until, like Ted Ramey, apparently. And until Thursday night, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real, teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you Thursday night.